So in chapter 11, the two main reactions that you have with alkenes. Now remember, alkenes are hydrocarbons that have a double bond between the carbons. So the two main reactions are hydrogenation. That's when you add hydrogen. You could see the word hydrogen and hydrogenation. And then a catalyst, either platinum, palladium, or nickel. It's palladium, platinum, or nickel. And in that case, you add hydrogen and hydrogen across the double bond. The other one, so that's one, the other one is hydration. And just like when you are hydrated, you add water to yourself. When an alkene is hydrated, they also add water. The water could be written H2O or it could be written HOH. And then usually above the arrow you have H plus to show that you have an acid catalyst. So you've added acid to the solution in order to help the reaction happen faster. And in this case, instead of adding H and H, you're adding H and OH. Basically, water. So, in this molecule, notice we have the HOH and H+. So this is going to be hydration. First step is just to redraw the molecule exactly as it's given in the problem. Next step is to erase the second bond in the double bond and to draw two new bonds to the carbons that were in the double bond. Now because this is hydration, we're going to be adding H and OH. But these two carbons aren't symmetrical, and so it makes a difference where we put the H and where we put the OH. The OH goes to the carbon bonded to more carbons. So for example, this carbon on the left is bonded to two other carbons. The carbon on the right is bonded to just one other carbon. Because the pink carbon, the carbon on the left, is bonded to more carbons, it gets the OH, and the other carbon gets the H. Notice this bond here is going to the oxygen, not to the hydrogen. And so this would be the product of that hydration. In this one, they give you a name instead of a structure. Cyclo means you're going in a ring. Hex means you have 6 carbons. 6 carbons in a ring is a hexagon. The EN means you have a double bond. They don't give you a number in front, so you can put the double bond anywhere you want. And the E is telling you that it's a hydrocarbon. Notice they give you H2 and platinum. That means that this is hydrogenation. And what you do in hydrogenation is first draw the molecule as they give it to you. Second, erase the second bond in the double bond and add a new bond to each of the carbons where the double bond was. And then add an H at the end of each of those bonds. And that is the product for hydrogenation. Okay, in this one, if you notice, they have an HOH and an H+. That means we're going to be doing hydration, so we'll be adding H and OH. First step is to redraw the molecule exactly as they give it to you. The second step, erase the second bond in the double bond and draw 2 new bonds, one going to each of the carbons that were in the double bond. Now we know this is hydration, so we know we're adding H and OH. But because each of these carbons isn't symmetrical, we have to figure out where the H goes and where the OH goes. The OH goes to the carbon bonded to more carbons. So let's consider this carbon right here. That's bonded to 1, 2, 3 other carbons. The carbon on the right is bonded to 1, 2 other carbons. So the carbon on the left, the one with the pink dot, is bonded to more carbons, and it gets the OH. And notice that the bond goes to the O, not to the H. And the other carbon gets the H. And so this is the product you would get when you do hydration on that molecule.